Before I was even born, my parents were already owners of a taekwondo school. So as soon as I was born, I was already in the school probably almost every day. When I was a baby, I was at a martial arts testing and someone was doing what's called a speed board break. So one piece of the board goes flying and my mom was holding me and that board ended up flying and hitting me in the head. That was probably my first taekwondo memory actually. I started when I was 2 years old with taekwondo classes at my parents' school, and I got my black belt by the time I was 7 and immediately started competing on the world circuit. My first world title was when I was 8 years old actually, and the same year my dad was competing for a world championship in the adult division, and we competed on the same day, and I won a Triple Crown world title and he won a sparring world title on the same day. I won 6 world titles from the time I was 8 till 14 was the last time I won a world title. And then I started focusing on my wrestling skills more. My brother is probably the biggest reason that I got into wrestling, was because I'd seen him lose an amateur fight to a guy who was able to take him down and control him on the ground. So that's why I got into wrestling. I had a dream of fighting in MMA, and I had seen from early on that wrestling was a huge aspect of mixed martial arts. So in wrestling, I was a 3-time state qualifier here in Missouri, and I placed at state, so I was all-state my junior year. And then I went on to wrestle at Lindenwood University, and I placed at my first 2 tournaments there. And I had an injury that put me out the rest of the season, and I decided to make the switch to mixed martial arts. My biggest drive is winning. I'm a very competitive person, and I've tasted what it's like to win a fight, and I've tasted what it's like to get submitted in a jiu-jitsu match, and I don't ever want to recreate that feeling, and I'm willing to put in whatever it takes to continue winning. I've got 100 different game plans I can employ. If I'm fighting a wrestler, then I'm going to use my distance control and my own wrestling defense to keep it on my feet and pick them apart with my kicks. And if I'm fighting a guy who's a better striker than I am, then I have the collegiate wrestling to take him down and submit him from the top position. So you never know what you're going to see when I fight. This is a long process. I'm only 20 years old and I've still got 6, 8, maybe 10 years before I reach my prime. So my job right now is just to keep improving, and as long as I'm staying in the gym and training, that's what's going to happen. Don't miss my pro debut, January 20th at Ameristar, because you're going to witness a fighter that's unlike any other.